What if you had a surefire way to get your body moving correctly? And one of the things that I found is if we can get the body to move correctly, the hands, the arms, the club will follow right along. If I try to get the ball to go where I want it to go, if I try to get my hands and arms and club to move the way I want those to move, but my body's not moving correctly, maybe I'm swaying to the right and swaying to the left, maybe I'm losing my posture. One of several things that could happen if we're not moving our body correctly, it's going to be almost impossible to get the ball to go the direction we want it to go day in and day out. Well, I have a surefire way, a step-by-step system that I'm going to lead you through in this video that's going to make your body move perfectly, and then we can just add the arms and club like we're going to get to later in this video, and man, you're going to hit a lot of great shots. One thing to keep in mind, this is absolutely not a beginner video. This is the same thing that I would do if I'm practicing myself. Now, this is broke down in a way where if you've never even swung a golf club in your life, you could follow right along with this and get a ton out of it. But don't mistake this for being too easy or too simple. The best golfers in the world, scratch golfers, anybody that's playing some great golf is going to get a lot of benefit out of this. So let's grab a club, stand up in your living room right now, and let's go ahead, follow along with me. We're going to get a lot of great work done. Don't forget to subscribe. I got a ton of great content coming out for you this year. You don't want to miss out. You're going to need to click that subscribe button. That way you get all of our latest videos. Also, click that like button. That really helps us out. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to post those below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so let's jump right into it. And the first thing I want to do, as I mentioned, is I want to build my body working in the correct way. And that all starts with golf is a rotational sport. So go ahead and grab a club right from your living room, put it across your shoulders. I want to put it up here on the top of my shoulders and have my fingertips kind of touching the edge of my shoulders here. And what I want to focus on is standing straight up and down and getting used to the rotational piece of this. Now, all these drills we're going to go through today, I want you to get in 5 reps of this. You're going to work right along with me. I'm going to give you some key checkpoints to hit. And if you follow these, you're going to be well on your way to making some great golf swings, building that muscle memory, building your body working in the correct way. So let's go ahead and grab a club, put it across our shoulders. As I stand straight up and down, the first thing I want to do is get that club pointing at least 90 degrees or 90 degrees of rotation going in the backswing and then the forward swing. Now here, I'm letting this club go ahead and rotate level with the ground. So again, we're going to get in 4 or 5 reps here. You'll notice my left foot starts to lift up a little bit in the backswing. My right foot lifts up a little bit in the forward swing. As I come on through, I'm going to get a little bit more than 90 degrees, and I'm going to get this right side of my shoulder, this right shoulder pointing as far down the fairway as I can. Now that can only happen if I let my hips swivel. That can only happen if I let my feet move a little bit on the ground. So many times I see players get locked in, they don't want to move their feet at all, and now I get really bound up. I got to go ahead and let my feet move and let my shoulders, my hips rotate back and through. That's really the basis of the golf swing. If I can get that rotation, everything else is built on top of that. Now from here, we're simply going to take that same rotation and we're just going to hinge forward. So if I'm coming level with the ground, imagine this being a plane of glass as I'm rotating back and through. In the golf swing, all we're doing is we're hinging forward. So now that plane of glass is tilted down toward the ground. Imagine a window here, anywhere between from where I would be hitting the golf ball to say 2 or 3 feet outside of that. And I want to imagine this club or this plane of glass being tilted down toward that. And now as I rotate back and through, I want my club to be pointing in that zone. So again here, letting my foot lift up. As I come back, I'm getting at least 90 degrees of shoulder turn. As I come on through, I'm getting past 90 degrees, letting my right foot come on up. I'm staying in my posture here. I don't want to come all the way to my complete finish. I'm just going to stay in my posture where that club is rotating on that same plane of glass back and through. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get 4 or 5 reps as I'm doing this, rotating back and through, making sure that my club is pointing on the ground, almost imagining a line going back and through toward my target, and my club is just going to trace that line as I come back and through. That's getting my body to stay in its posture. That's getting me to rotate. That's really building the foundation of what is a golf swing. So as I really ingrain this, that's going to make golf a lot simpler. It's going to make me more consistent. And because I got good rotation, it's also going to give me a lot of power. Now the next piece of this, I need to add a little bit of weight shift. In the golf swing, there's a weight shift to the right and there's a weight shift to the left in the downswing. I can do the same thing as I'm rotating with this club on my shoulders. Again, hinge forward, get that club pointing somewhere slightly outside of what would be the golf ball. And as I come to my backswing, I want to pause as I'm at the top of my backswing. And if I had this club drop straight down, it would kind of hit on the inside of my left leg. So imagine if I was just to drop this straight down, it kind of hit on the inside of my left foot here. If my leg wasn't in the way, that club would drop down and hit the ground about right there. What I don't want to do is I don't want to sway to the right and go way over here. That club would drop down way outside my foot. That would be too much movement laterally. I'd get inconsistent because my eyes are moving too far to the right and I'd have to move them back to the left on the downswing. I don't also want to have a reverse pivot, which would be something more like this, whereas if I drop that club, it would be hitting more over toward my left foot. Again, that's going to create inconsistency because now I'm coming back to the left in my backswing. I'm going to have to fall to the right in my downswing, plus I'm going to lose a lot of power as I'm doing that. So that's the next piece. Let's go ahead and grab that club again, do another 4 or 5 reps right along with me. Good rotation, club over the right instep of my right foot. As I come through now, the club is going to be on the instep of my left foot. So I've let my weight shift to the left. My right toe has swiveled off the ground. And now I'm getting at least that 90 degrees of turn as I'm staying in my posture. Again, let's go ahead and rotate back. Let your left foot lift a little bit. Rotate through. Let your right foot pivot or rotate on around. Make sure you get that good turn. If you want to go a little extra, maybe you're a little bit more flexible, go to whatever the range of flexibility you have is completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and go a little past that if I can. As I come through, I'm going to go a little past that. As long as I keep my club pointing to the ground, then I'm completely fine. I can go as far as my range of motion will let me. So if you're a little bit tighter, you may not go as far, but go as far as you can. So until now, what we've done is we've rotated these hips, we've let our legs move properly, and we let our shoulders go. Let's really open up our chest and the last piece of our shoulders, which would be protraction and retraction of our shoulders. So protraction means that my shoulders are coming forward. Retraction means my shoulders are coming back. We really want to maximize this in the golf swing to get every ounce of club head speed we can get, making golf as easy as we can. So what I want you to do here is let's set up and do what I call the lawnmower drill. Let's get our hands in front. And what I want to imagine again is, here my hands are level, I'd be rotating level with the ground. Let's go ahead and tilt forward until I'd be rotating kind of on that plane again, just like we did with the club. And I want to go ahead and grab here. Imagine I'm grabbing a lawnmower, kind of a cord that I would start a lawnmower with. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and pull this lawnmower back, and I'm going to pull it all the way back up to my chest. I'm going to go as far back as I can with my elbow going up. So what this has done is that's really opened up my right shoulder. I've retracted my right shoulder to really help me load up in the backswing. So I'm going as far as I can, and then I'm going to go ahead and let my arm come all the way back. As I come down, I'll let my arm swing down. And then from there, as I get to impact, or what would be impact, I'm going ahead and let my hips open up. And then I'm taking the left hand, just like a lawnmower, and I'm going to pull it coming all the way on through. So again, we're getting 4 or 5 reps in with this. Really let that come back as far as you can. Open up the chest, let the right side of the chest retract, and then extend your arm as far as you can. Maybe you can only go to here. Maybe you're not going to get as far. Maybe if you're a little more flexible, you can open up your chest even a little bit more and get it facing the sky. I'm not that flexible, but some of you may be. Let that open up. And then as I come down, let my arms come together. That would be impact. And then open up the left side of it. Again, I'm staying in my posture as I'm doing this. Really letting my shoulders open up. Impact. And then I'm coming through and opening up. Now let's make this a little bit more like a golf swing instead of the lawnmower action. The lawnmower really opened us up. Let's make this a little bit more accurate now. So we talked about how, I could put my arms out and rotate this way, and I'm just going to hinge forward. Let's do the same thing here now. So as I come to the top of the backswing, I'm going to go ahead and rotate all around. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my arms to stay 90 degrees with my shoulders. So as my shoulders rotate, my arms rotate. And from there, I'm going to try to get my left arm pointing as far behind the golf ball as I can, or the imaginary golf ball there. My right arm is going to go as far behind me as I can. Now from there, as I start my downswing, I want to go ahead and turn that hand down. This will be what we call covering the golf ball, getting some forward shuffling, getting some lag. This is really important to square the face up earlier. I'll get to that later in this video, but I want to go ahead and go to the top and then square up my hands. So my left hand, my logo of my glove, points down to the ground. If this was what's called flexion, meaning that I'm taking the palm of my hand, putting it back toward my body, that's what I would feel there. So that's flexion. As I turn that hand down, the palm of my hand is facing toward my chest. If I'm doing my right hand, instead of having it open here, I'm gonna have the palm bent back and facing away from me. So again, it's that what would be extension of the right hand, or the knuckles of my right hand facing back toward me. So I go to the top of the swing, I do my squaring of the club face, palm of my left hand toward my chest, knuckles of my right hand going back. I'm coming down to impact. So if I meet those two hands up here, that would be what would be forward shaft lean in the golf swing. And the driver, we're behind that driver, it actually still has a little bit of forward shaft lean because we're behind it, we're releasing in front. That's gonna make it pretty much straight up and down. We'll get to that here in a second when we add the club. But I'm coming down to impact, and then from there, I'm rotating all the way around. Again, my hand is facing my chest, my knuckles of my right hand are kind of facing back at me, and I'm rotating all the way on through. So again, I'm starting out with my hands kind of 90 degrees, full backswing. Before I start my downswing, I'm gonna get my hands in the position where it's early squaring of the club face. That's what we call the move in the Top Speed Golf system. I'm coming down to impact, and then I'm letting that extend on through. Arms out, square the face, come down to impact, come all the way on through. So again, my hands are doing this motion as I'm squaring that face. What I don't want to do is I don't want to do this motion, which would be the opposite direction. That would be the flip or the cast that's early from the top. I want to have my hands back. So rotate to the top, hands back, come to impact, hands all the way on through. Do a good 5 to 10 reps of those, get comfortable with that, then let's add the club. Now I've built how my body wants to move. I've built how my arms and hands want to move. Let's just add the club, and this gets very simple now. So as I add this golf club, let's go ahead and put a tee in the ground here. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna let those hands and arms rotate, my chest rotate, and I'm gonna pull that club to the top of the swing. As I start down, I'm gonna square that club face up. That would be the bowing of the left wrist, the palm coming back toward my chest, my right hand kind of extending where the knuckles are back, and that's gonna square the club face up early. So let me show you what this looks like. I go to the top, I square that club face early, and you'll see how my club head starts to turn down where it's facing the golf ball. That's what the pros are doing to square that face up, hit that nice draw, and really compress the golf ball. The opposite of that would be, instead of squaring this face up here, I have my wrist the other way, and now my face is wide open. That's gonna be that over the top slice. From there, I'd wanna come this way, my face is open, the ball's gonna go up in the air, it's gonna slice over into the woods on the right side of the fairway. So I wanna make sure, make that big turn, square the face, come down to contact, and then all the way on through. This is the first time you're gonna come to your finish. So as we do this again, good full turn going back, square the face, come all the way on through to the good full finish. Now my right shoulder's coming around to the fairway as far as I can get it to go. I'm balanced over my left foot. So if you'll see here, I could pick up my right foot and I'd still be facing the fairway. My belt buckle is facing the fairway. My chest, as I do this, is nice and high. So good turn back, square the face, come all the way on through, and now my chest is facing up toward the sky. I can really rotate on around. My chin is nice and high, and that ensures that I'm completing my swing. What I don't want to do is square the face, come down, and then stay down here. I've stopped my swing. I'm just all hands and arms coming on through. I want to get my body rotating all the way on around, completing that good full finish. That can only happen if my right foot comes completely off the ground. I have to be all the way up on the toe to get that to rotate all the way around there. I really want to feel like I'm balanced on my left foot. So as you do this, feel like you hold that finish for a good 3 seconds. So I'm all the way rotated around. Again, balance on my left leg. You'll notice how here, if I was to go ahead and stay on this left foot, I could stay here all day. It's almost like I'm facing the target. The only difference is my feet are pointing in a different direction. So do a few more reps of that. Full turn back, square the face, full finish. Hold your finish for a good 3 seconds. And when I say hold your finish, it doesn't mean you have to hold the club in your finish. You can let the club relax. I'm holding my feet, my hips, my chest, my body, watching that ball go down the middle of the fairway. Now let's make this a little bit more fluid. Same key checkpoints. Hinging forward, I'm gonna rotate back and through. This time I'm not gonna pause. I'm not going to the top and pausing. I'm not squaring up the face and pausing. And then I'm not coming all the way on through and pausing. Well, actually at the finish I am pausing. But as I come on back, I'm just gonna make this all one fluid motion. So let's see what that looks like. Again, good full shoulder turn. As I come on through, I'm gonna hold that finish for 3 seconds. I wanna put a tee in the ground, and I'm actually gonna clip that tee. If you're in your living room, that's completely fine. Just imagine there's a tee in the way. You don't have to actually hit the tee out of the ground. If I'm out on the driving range, don't add a ball yet. Get used to making this swing without hitting a golf ball. Just feel like you clip the tee out of the ground. Turn back, turn through, hold my finish. I don't want to lose my finish for at least 3 seconds. And I'm going to repeat this a good 4 or 5 times. Again, I'll go without the tee. Again, making a big full turn, squaring the hands, and then coming on through. So I put that all together. Nice swing, hold the finish for 3 seconds. Let my feet rotate, both on the back swing. So as my left heel may lift a little bit, my hips are rotating, my shoulders are rotating. As I come on through, this is a big key, let that right foot come all the way on around. So again, without any pauses, hold that finish for 3 seconds, and you're well on your way to building that muscle memory. Now let's go ahead and add the golf ball. All right, so now we're gonna hit a golf ball with this. I'm gonna hit a few on my flight scope, and I'm just gonna talk about the same key checkpoints. So again, as I'm hitting a golf ball now, I'm just running through exactly what we've done. I'm hinging forward, I'm making sure I've got a good turn going back and through, and really finishing my swing hold for 3 seconds. All right, so that was a nice shot where you see that I held my follow through. On this one, instead of focusing on the turn back and through, now I'm gonna focus on squaring up that club face. So again, I go to the top, I square the face, and then I rotate on through. If I square that face early, it's gonna help me to compress the golf ball, hit a bit of a better draw on this one, and really get some compression on this golf ball. Again, hold your finish, 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then finally, I'm gonna focus on my follow through. So for here, I'm really gonna work on holding that finish with my chest nice and high, completing my swing, staying completely in balance for that 3 seconds. So when I finish my swing here, I wanna be able to pick up my left foot, stay completely in balance until that ball lands. That's gonna help me to stay really centered in my body, be much more consistent when I'm doing this, but still get a lot of power because I'm finishing my backswing and I'm finishing my follow through. Now you may be thinking, hey, this is a lot of new information. I've never heard you talk about this before, Clay. This is actually the same stuff that we talk about in the Top Speed Golf system. One of the major things I talked about here today is what I call the power turn. And the power turn is making sure that you use your feet, your hips, and your shoulders to really load up in the backswing and to make sure you complete that swing. That way you have the effortless power coming through the golf ball. You feel like you're really in balance and you can get a lot of speed without having to feel like you're muscling the golf ball. That only happens when we get that great rotation. The cool thing about this is you don't have to be flexible to do this. As long as you're letting your feet move properly, you're letting those hips and heels kind of lift up off the ground, you're really gonna be able to get a lot of great rotation. Now, I have an awesome video, one of my best power turn videos. I'm gonna play a preview of that here in a second. Just go ahead and click that card that pops up on your screen or the link down below in your description, and you'll be able to get instant access to that video, watch the full thing, and really get that power turn so you get a lot more power in your golf swing. Let's go ahead and get started. But with the correct technique, we can all hit it with really good distance without a lot of muscular effort. And it all starts out, the very first thing you have to do is get a good powerful turn to load up the body. And it's not only in golf, but in all sports we have to rotate the body at least 90 degrees with the shoulders as you swing to the top. Preferably, we can go even a little bit past 90 to really get loaded up. That's gonna allow us to have a lot of power. So we don't just have to look at golf for this. Let's actually look at other sports. They're rotating their body, then they're coming forward. So we have to get that load. We have to get this big shoulder turn to be able to create power in the golf swing. So in this series of videos, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. That's one of the first keys to getting power, and we're all gonna get at least a 90-degree turn, if not more than that. I think you'll be surprised at what you can do. So let's go ahead and get started with the next series of videos, and I'm gonna show you how to get this big, powerful turn. All right, guys, so before we go, let's take a look at this in action with some of the top pros. Now here we're looking at Adam Scott, and you're gonna see as he rotates to the top, good full shoulder turn. This is pretty typical of what I see with the top pros, a little past 90. Those guys are working on their flexibility, so sometimes they can get to 100 or even 110 degrees.